Hello, YouTube. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the Black Tiger Miner YouTube channel. This is a special event because the president will be meeting today at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time with the czar of the new crypto czar. So we'll be seeing what's going on. I think the crypto will take off today. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. So we will see either way it goes. But I think there's going to be a big announcement, and I think crypto is going to take off. So let me know, what do you guys think will happen today after this announcement? I know this week has been a crypto roller coaster, right? Things have been up and down and crazy, but just trying to help you guys rebuild your crypto community. Let's freaking go, guys. Wait a minute. I didn't get the, oh man, I sure don't have the, oh man. So let me see. Let's go to this video. I want to see if I can get my thumbnail put up real quick. So let's see what Zach is talking about.
Massive stuff to talk about, guys, in this video. It is a huge day for XRP, huge day for the market, huge day for altcoins, huge day for crypto. And I'm going to tell you guys why in this video. If you guys remember, David Sachs a couple days ago announcing that he is coming on stage today to talk about digital assets, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what I think could potentially happen here at this event. I think he's going to be addressing AI quite a bit, and I think the AI crypto sector could be ready to pop, okay? I'm letting all the XRP army know just because. Keep your eye on the AI crypto sector today and tomorrow after David Sachs speaks. Remember, he's the crypto and AI czar. But I think XRP is set to benefit here too, because he's going to be talking about, in my opinion, we're trying to front run this, he's going to be talking about what? US-based companies. This is where I think the conversation is going to shift. And there's no bigger US-based company than Ripple XRP. Guys, smash the like button, subscribe down below. Wow, this market has been wild, absolutely wild. Crazy roller coaster ride these last 48 hours, the ups, the downs. It's all market manipulation. And I made a video when XRP was getting tanked, when XRP was getting drilled. I made a video saying, do not let them take your XRP, especially when it was down below $2. We are back almost close to $3. This was a market manipulation tactic to flush out retail investors, to get rid of people, to basically cut people out their legs and get the weak hands out. That's exactly what this was. This was a play to get retail out and to get more positions ready to go. The institutions stacked it up. The institutions got back in and bought up a lot of the retail positions that were sold off. And we're sitting here pretty much back where we were before all the nonsense happened, before all the Trump tariff stuff actually even came to fruition and was scaring people out of their bags. We're back here. We're back here. And I mean, this is why you cannot overreact in crypto. You cannot go crazy on certain news. You can't, look into everything and say, oh my gosh, the world's, the sky's falling. The same thing happened with DeepSeek. The same thing happened with DeepSeek. Things pumped, they dumped, and then they literally came back the next day, okay? Right now, we are in an institutionally driven bull market. This is what I keep preaching. I keep telling people this. This is different than retail. This is not a retail-driven bull market right now. And the institutions are testing everyone. They are testing all the retail. They don't need us to be in the market, okay? They only need us for exit liquidity. That's why they need us. They need us for exit liquidity. They are trying to make us exit liquidity. Do not feed into it. So today at 2:30 p.m., David Sachs is going to get up there and speak. Will he talk about RWAs? And if so, I think the Ondo XRP partnership is something that could be addressed. indirectly or directly. And I think AI and this whole AI crypto sector is going to pump because he's going to talk about AI. He has to address the DeepSeek issues. He has to address digital assets, digital currencies. And this is specifically supposedly about digital assets more so than anything else. But I do think he's going to wrap in some AI elements here. So we're trying to front run some narratives. Okay. And I was on a space last night, guys, and these are people that aren't even XRP Army members, and they think this thing's still going to go to $12 to $15 this bull cycle, strictly because it is the hottest narrative. And it's the one crypto where retail investors are actually here. They're actually interested. Like all of you guys are watching this video, right? Like it's hard to find another asset right now. In fact, I'm going to go on a record and say there's not one. There's nothing even close to the retail community right now than in an XRP. Nothing even close. And that alone drives prices higher when people speculate. But we actually have substance here with XRP. We have a lawsuit that's still ongoing. That's a catalyst when that lawsuit ends. Another catalyst is ETFs. Another catalyst is actual use cases. And the real catalyst, and I've been telling you guys this for a really long time, the real catalyst is the future of RWA. This is the real catalyst. This is their play all the time, guys. The moves that they've been trying to make with cross-border payments, this was just to keep them relevant. This was to keep XRP relevant, top of mind, to get them through the lawsuit. The real play here, all along, has been the tokenization of real-world assets. And their big partnership with Ondo Finance tells me everything I need to know. And Ondo Finance has a massive summit coming up in the next couple days. The amount of money that could be coming into the markets when we talk about RWA tokenization, and if Ripple's a big part of that, which everything points to the fact that they will be, I don't know about you guys, but I think we're in store for a wild ride. So enjoy it. Enjoy the peaks. Enjoy the hills. Enjoy the dips. Enjoy all of it. But remember what we talked about in this video. I appreciate you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do not forget to...
Yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit your main man up with a super chat. It took me a while. I was trying to get the thumbnail created. I was rushing, and I didn't get the thumbnail set up. But going back to Twitter, this is the XRP, the RLUSD token, and you see it straight crushed the what is that? The USDT token and the Bitcoin token. So I think there's a big announcement happening at 1:30, right? There's going to be the crypto czar and the president are meeting and going over digital assets. So as you know, it's been a lot of volatility lately in the crypto market, right? And I think it is all part of the plan, right? These guys have been working. What is this video? Let me see what this is. These guys have been working I'm telling you, it's all a setup, man. These guys have been working on this for some time, probably. Let me go back and let me see get some volume on this guy. Hopefully there's a video here. Let's see what this is.
Notice that I've also got Bitcoin in my Ripple wallet. Again, Ripple is multi-currency and it's interoperable to Bitcoin. So you can use your Ripple wallet, you can use the Ripple network to also send Bitcoins. Let me show you how that works real briefly. So again, I'll send my friend, this time a payment in Bitcoin. I'll choose a small amount because Bitcoins are expensive. And it's going to calculate paths. And as you can see, I've got a number of currencies I can send. I'm going to go ahead and send Bitcoin. My friend will receive Bitcoin. Confirm that transaction. System's going through a process of consensus. Once again, reached consensus. So what I just did basically is I sent Bitcoin off the Bitcoin blockchain. So instead of waiting 10 minutes that you must in the Bitcoin paradigm, I sent Bitcoins instantly. Let me show you in my wallet. I've got some other currencies. I want to send another one. Notice that I've also got Bitcoin in my Ripple wallet. Again, Ripple is multi-currency and it's interoperable to Bitcoin. So you can use your Ripple wallet, you can use the Ripple network to also send Bitcoins. Let me show you how that works real briefly. So again, I'll send my friend, this time a payment in Bitcoin. I'll choose a small amount because Bitcoins are expensive. And it's going to calculate paths. And as you can see, I've got a number of currencies I can send. I'm going to go ahead and send Bitcoin. My friend will receive Bitcoin. Confirm that transaction. System's going through a process of consensus. Once again, reached consensus. So what I just did basically is I sent Bitcoin off the Bitcoin blockchain. So instead of waiting 10 minutes that you must in the Bitcoin paradigm, I sent Bitcoins instantly. Let me show you in my wallet. I've got some other currencies. I want to send another.
So I guess that was just an example of using the RL or something on the RLUSD for transfer. What will the U.S. government say on this press conference about crypto XRP? So let me know in the comments what you guys think they're going to say about crypto in the upcoming the conference that starts in 18 minutes. And this is XRP XML HBA mentioned on the NASDAQ. Listen closely. So let's see what they're saying here.
These two big clumps of performance, and in between we.
And I haven't seen this video yet, so I'm not 100% sure what these guys are talking about, actually. So let me double check there as well. And let's kick the video.
We had these two big clumps of performance, and in between we had to be super patient. It was really a Bitcoin year a lot, although after the election, the idea of smart contract platforms and other growth-oriented digital assets gained favor. They have much more to benefit from a new regulatory pavement. So Ethereum sprang back to life, a lot of other layer ones, a lot of DeFi protocols. So the CoinDesk 20 index ended up 88% on the year. The top performers of current constituents were on nobody's bingo card, right? Ripple and Stellar and HBAR. A lot of the names that were where there was excitement in the beginning of the year sort of switched places. So it was a very strong year, and it really provided a launch pad for 2025.
Which is interesting because we were talking.
We had these two big clumps of performance, and in between we had to be super patient. It was really a Bitcoin year a lot, although after the election, the idea of smart contract platforms and other growth-oriented digital assets gained favor. They have much more to benefit from a new regulatory pavement. So Ethereum sprang back to life, a lot of other layer.
Sorry, I got 2 or 3 things going on. This is Altcoin Daily. Eric Trump likes Ethereum. So, in my opinion, it's a great time to add Ethereum. And this was yesterday, which was Monday, right after the market dumped. And he mentioned to pick it up. Breaking news: the White House Digital Asset Press Conference. U.S. Sovereign Wealth Fund explained Bitcoin versus XRP. U.S. president's plan to save crypto. And I guess this is live, actually. This can't be live because it hasn't happened yet. So I don't know what you guys think. Stablecoin called Bill Genius is introduced in the Senate. Genius Act provides clear regulation for U.S. stablecoins and defines stablecoins as digital assets pegged to the USD. XRP has regulatory clarity, and RLUSD is pegged to the US dollar. So it's going down. Today, Senator Hargreaves introduces its stablecoin bill in the Senate. The bill is called Genius, guiding the established national innovation in U.S. Stablecoin Act, aims to provide clear regulatory for stablecoin. Here are the highlights of the bill, which is based off a discussion draft rolled out in October, provides clear regulatory U.S. coins, defines stable coins as digital assets, establishes licensing and reserve requirements, amplifies Fed ruling for insurers, 10 billion, supports financial inclusion, efficient transactions, and dollar superiority. In my opinion, it's a great time to buy XRP. 12 years ago, Chris Larson, Bitcoin, through XRP Ledger. XRP is a great version of Bitcoin, will reach a high price, a very high price. This was the plan all along. Run Bitcoin on the XRP ledger to fulfill for Satoshi original vision. And if that's where it goes, they may need to build a more mental hospitals just to house the Bitcoin maxis. Yeah, this
What would
sick, bro. Super sick.
stop it from being used from payments at this point, or what would relegate it to just being digital gold, in your opinion?
Well, no one uses it as payments. Like, that's it. And if it's not accessible in that sense, like if people don't understand how to use it as payments, if it's not easy, if merchants aren't accepting it, all these things will compound into people just not seeing it as relevant money, and instead of just being this digital gold rock.
Do you think that it's a lack of development? Because we have things like Lightning and Fedi and other kind of layer 2, more payments focused protocols that live on top of the Bitcoin base layer. But is it more of a it needs to be used question to you, or do you still think that there's far more to build?
There's always more to build. I just think it's not accessible to people. Number one issue is like people don't have Bitcoin and they have no reason to buy it other than the investment value. Number two is when they have Bitcoin, where can they actually use it if they can use it? So there's a lot of chicken and egg problems, and I think many of them are being worked on. But ultimately, it has to come down to the fact that like people value this thing for a reason and they want to use it. So I do think, obviously, I think the investment vehicle is a good first step. We built a Cash App, we built the Bitcoin exchange in the Cash App for that very purpose, because it's the fastest and easiest way to get people access to Bitcoin. But the next step is the hard one, which is like, how do they utilize it instead of just like watching it go up and down? How do they actually use it to exchange value? And how does that benefit like a merchant? How does it benefit an individual? So that's what we're focused on now.
So yeah, things are gonna get crazy. So this is the XRP. So it's showing us two price predictions. It's showing us Radian, XRP, Cardano, and Ondo. And I'm not really concerned about Cardano, Ondo, or Radian. But for XRP crashed as low as $1.77, the lowest level since November 29th, as the tariff fears jumped. And it's weird, they brought the tariff thing out and then they came back with this meeting at 1:30. It has formed a hammer candlestick pattern, one of the longest lower shadows running from 2.6 to $1.77. The XRP coin has moved above the 50-day moving average and is attempting to cross the key resistance level at $2.90, the upper side of the bullish pendant chart pattern. XRP has moved to the middle of the Andrews pitchfork tool. Therefore, the price is likely keep rising as buyers target $3.30, the highest point this year. which is about 25% above the current level. The potential catalyst for XRP price are Ripple ETF approval, Ripple USD, RLUSD volume, XRP ledger growing momentum. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. Moving forward, just in, Ripple to launch United States dollar-backed stable coin. And not sure how that got reposted, but we knew about that as well. XRP holders, retreat if you feel the same love for the greatest asset on earth. And breaking news, President Trump's crypto czar, David Sachs, will hold a press conference at 2 p.m. Eastern time. The end of the SEC Ripple case is near. Sachs, Scott, Boozman, Hill, Thompson host press conference on digital assets. Press conference on assets, 2 p.m. Eastern time, Tuesday, February 4th, which is today. And we read this already. XRP's current price is $2.68, up 2.58 in the last hour. Market cap is 154 billion. So let's see what this guy has to say. Actually, let's see what Stock Mo has to say.
Hey, that's right. Oh, the crypto czar is out and about. They're going to lay out the strategic direction of the United States for crypto. This could be a monstrous moment in time. We're going to see a lot going on. And for those who are wondering, what are you talking about, Mo? Well, here you go. This is it. Hit the like button if you're with me. Let's get this one over 1,000 likes. And if you're here for XRP, wait till you see the charts I got for you. But this could be a very nice positive catalyst. I got my little conspiracy theories out there. I don't know what they're going to talk about, but I'm trying to connect the dots and see if something positive happens. Now, I'll know the answer here within an hour and a half, hour or so, but the White House crypto czar to share strategic priorities for the industry. And that's it. They're going to lay out the plans for the Trump administration's plans for the sector. So I started putting everything together, and you guys know I'm trying to create as many crypto millionaires as I can this year. You guys, if you're in my Discord, you know what I'm trying to do here. If you're not in there, get in there. Second link down below. And of course, I'll be rolling out the new crypto challenge soon. I think we're going to do it either Monday or Tuesday next week. So I'm going to give some people some time here. I'll talk about that in a minute, but this is, let's connect the dots real quick for those who got other things to do. White House cryptos are, right? So we know this is happening today. This is a big moment. I think it's 2:30. The event is expected to outline key priorities and the goal of establishing the U.S. as a global leader. So we'll find out what's going on. And I'm pretty pumped that this is going to be a major kind of change from where we've been going over the last 4 years. Last 4 years, it's been attack, rip crypto apart. This is going to be 180 degrees the other direction. So they had some time. We know they've had a lot of time to prepare for this. And now we're there. We're going to see the meeting. But now the dots I wanted to connect. So we come over here and you hear this. Eric Trump issues surprise endorsement. And he came out, in my opinion, it's a great time to add ETH. And interesting. It's a great time to add ETH. Now, I know you're saying, I'm here for the Mo, I'm here for the XRP. I'm here for it all, folks. And if this is his opinion here, I want to see if they mention Bitcoin and Ethereum or Ethereum in any way, and we see that run, that tells you everything you need to know. Follow Eric Trump and you'll get your information. Now, if they don't mention it or nothing, there's nothing really positive, and the markets don't move or anything. Well, then the the theory I had does not work. But I believe we're going to see a lot of positive announcements today. And this timing of saying, hey, my opinion, great time to buy before the big meeting today, the big announcements today, the direction of where they're going, where Trump wants to go, and his son coming out and saying this, you let me know what you think down below. You let me know if you believe shortly, or by the time you watch this, it may already happen, if crypto kind of bounces up, or are we going to have a sell the news kind of event, or nothing, or we're just sideways. Give you some things to take a guess. Now, I'm bullish. I believe we're going to see a little bit of a rally, but you know, it's been rough out there, the terrorists and everything else. But this is another positive. I've been saying this for a while. There's so many positive catalysts for XRP, of course, all crypto in general, as we get the clarity and regulations we've been begging for years and years and years, so we can go ahead and make this a mainstream, just monster corporations holding crypto, pension funds in crypto, countries battling over crypto. And we sit back and we create crypto millionaires. If you're with me on that, put it down below. I'm going to be a crypto millionaire. That's still my goal for this year. It's been a rough, I'd say 2 weeks here. But man, oh man, I've been buying the dip, and I'm ready to enjoy that rip. Now, for those who don't know, I'm doing the new US-based Kraken crypto portfolio, and I'm doing it over at Kraken. So I'm going to start that probably, I have to tell you, Tuesday, because I'm actually traveling Monday. But Tuesday of next week, I'm starting. So what I'm telling people, if you want to follow along, you can put anything you want in there. Click that first link, get in there. Sign up, get the account. I'm going to make a US-based crypto account because I believe that we're going to see a lot of good news about capital gains, and it's going to be zero or very low. And they're going to try to make US the focus of crypto around the world, to have projects brought here. And to do that, having zero capital gains on US-based crypto is going to be absolutely influential in these creators, these programmers, and everybody who gets involved in this, to bring them here. And so if that is the case, if we have that, and you might, remember, the whole ocean's going to go higher. I've shown you a lot of charts over the years, and over the last few months, of Standard Chartered coming out saying, look, we expect 10 trillion market cap for all of crypto by the end of 2026. That's under 2 years away. What's our market cap right now? We'll go and take a look at this. What is the market cap right now? 3.3. So this is a tripling of the current market cap. Tripling. And I say it again, and I know people are experiencing pain. We are all experiencing pain when the markets go down, but they don't just go one direction. Now we come down. You can see the recovery is beautiful so far. You got XRP around 261, Bitcoin under 100K, Ethereum under 3K. All right, so everybody, we all went through it. Did you buy the dip? Let me know down below. I always like hearing what you bought or what you sold or you got out. But if this triples, I'll say it again. If this triples, which that was if we had a red wave, that's what they were calling for. Everything they have been kind of predicting has been happening. And so I like what they're saying. I can see the same catalysts they do. That would push Bitcoin to 300K. I believe XRP will not triple, but it'll go 6 times minimum where it is now. So this isn't going to be at 261. I think we got to be up there around $15 to $25 a piece by the end of 2026, if not higher. All right. Yes, there's a lot of positives out there happening. I want to be with the crypto that has utility, that is a payment transaction solution. And there's a lot more with that too. Yeah. So now I give you the information. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to do a follow-up video to this video going over what they discussed. It's going to be big. It's happening about an hour and a half. And as we get the information out, let's see how the markets go. I got Ethereum 2814. We'll see if Eric Trump's right. Let's go to XRP. You guys know, if you're with me on the XRP, put XRP in the comments, family. Look where we're at. I don't want no panic in here. Got no room for panicking. what we have is I'm checking out the charts now.
Yes,
it's been a long time. Remember I told you it's not if, but when we hit the 50 EMA, we hit it. And I knew when we hit it, there would be a lot of panicking. And look at the wicks on this. Now this is what I call a bottle rocket. You have a nasty sell-off, but it pushes all the way back up. It's also a double crust, which usually will lead to some upward movement over the next few days, weeks. We got a consolidation candle today. A little bit up, a little bit down, but we're above the 50. We're right at the 50. The 50 EMA right now is 262. We're at 262. So we're riding that 50 EMA. As long as we can stay above the 50 EMA, it's still bullish. If we do confirm below the 50 EMA, well, we might have to change our tune. And then that 224, 225 price becomes your support. We do not want to get down to that level. The RSI is bearish at 41. So I am watching this as well. So we do need a little bit of positive movement to reverse this. We got a lot of deleveraging that happened over the last 48 hours. That took a lot of pressure off of the RSI, off of everything, because we were way overbought. Remember the double cross up there in the 70s and 80s? It's not a matter of if, it's when. It will release that pressure. And we did. And so now at this point, we have an opportunity to either you're buying. I remember what I told you. Anywhere between the 13 and 50 to me is a good buy zone. If you dip below the 50 and you're long term, you got to like that opportunity, especially if you believe in the same things I believe in with the positive catalyst. And if you're somebody, it's just like I was swing trading a Mount Mo, too much volatility. I get it. Watch, because it's going to be a crazy ride. And as long as we make the right moves, folks, there's going to be self-high fives all over the place because millionaires will be made. And that all comes down to what we're going to hear about today.
Which regulatory agencies, which watchdogs, whether they're federal watchdogs or state-run watchdogs, regulators, will be monitoring different parts of this stable coin issuance system. So the bigger banks will be federally mandated, while the smaller issuers at a state level will obviously be state-run. And that was a big issue why it didn't quite get through the Senate last year, because I couldn't agree on this kind of federal versus state, jurisdiction. But apparently they've come up with a new way of doing that that's slightly more palatable and more likely to pass through the Senate.
I see people.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I see people in the comments like shilling their coins, right? I see a lot of XRP. I see a lot of Sol. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because the president himself, we're talking about this American first crypto reserve, right? And Sam, I want to kick that back to you. You were talking about, the culture aspect of things, the NFTs, the meme coins. When you hear this like American first, I don't know, the connotation. Yeah, like, is that even possible? Like, what do you think when you hear that and you think about the projects you already interact with?
I mean, I think if you look at it through the lens of history and technology, right? The internet mainly was born out of technologies that were innovated in the USA, right? We look at DARPANET and we look at some of the early educational projects. A lot of the original early companies that were essential to networking. Now, granted, all of that technology started to flood globally, and I think that we want that. We want that to happen. We don't want this to be something we can gatekeep. But I think the idea that technological innovation should remain in America is one that we, as Americans, hold a lot of pride in. I don't think when Donald Trump says Bitcoin should be made in America, probably missing the point a little bit. But I do think the idea that crypto innovation as a key part of our technological infrastructure, key way that we can think about reimagining the financial system, the cultural system, the way that IP works, all that stuff to me is very important. And that's the stuff that I would love to hear more about that. I don't think, Ben mentioned this earlier, when they say, oh, well, NFTs or meme coins are just collectibles, that's a little too simplistic a definition, right? The Trump meme coin that now you can use to purchase merchandise, suddenly they gave it utility. Right? Does that pass the Howey test at that moment are things that we should be asking ourselves, or are we just going to throw out all of the rules from the past and try to figure out what is next? I don't know if there is anything that one can do to completely regulate, but I do think that the idea of America not shying away from the innovation in blockchain is probably a good thing for our industry. But I do believe the industry also does want some guardrails. I think that innovation often works better in a box than in an open field.
Yeah. Personally, I think the whole idea of, and this isn't about America first or Kazakhstan first or whatever country. I mean, the whole idea of crypto and decentralization is really to get away from kind of state power. So the idea of kind of putting an America first label on something like this, I think is a bit strange. And I do find it quite strange sometimes people in the crypto community talking with an American flag over their head when, for a long time they've been talking about decentralization and about, empowering individuals really against governments or against, institutions or intermediaries to then turn around and say we want an American first thing. I think is a bit strange. And, we're seeing that with some of the politics around the strategic crypto reserve. This started very much as a Bitcoin project. It was announced by Donald Trump at the Nashville Bitcoin conference last August. And now we've seen other, US projects like Ripple, which is the main instigator of XRP, is based in San Francisco. It's very much claiming the kind of US mantle. But I think they're really doing that, frankly, because they want to be part of this strategic reserve, and they can see a lot of value in the government or the state owning these assets and really, offering kind of a floor under these assets that can be tremendously useful. But this kind of rhetoric of US versus whatever, I mean, it's kind of a bit weird in the world of crypto. This is supposed to be a transnational or non-national movement, really.
But Ben, let me ask you, your opinion. We're about to hear a bunch of senators. We're about to hear David Sachs, right? David Sachs was, for example, some of the early money in multi-coin capital. He, has talked about doing very well on Solana in the past. We know that Trump and his family and World Liberty are buying up a lot of different cryptocurrency and really wanting to make at least the idea of what crypto can equal from a finance perspective be something that they can proudly champion as America. Now, I know from a technology perspective, we believe wholeheartedly in decentralization and this being a global movement, especially in those locations that don't have sort of sophisticated financial rails like we have here. But I guess it doesn't surprise me to think of David Sachs and some of the folks on this who are going to show up on the stream soon, giving it a bit of a nationalistic approach. Is that a misunderstanding, do you think?
I mean, I think it's politics, right? And they are members of an administration which is protecting U.S. interests. So, I think they would say that. But I think what is interesting is that, the US is still a leader in regulation. So I think a lot of the world has been looking to the US for some clarity on these issues. So everyone talks about Europe having, kind of much more advanced guidelines or regulation, but there's still a lot of gaps in that system of regulation. And they're still looking to the US to show a lead here. So I think in that sense, the US will lead the way on some of these issues. And even this press conference today could be watched around the world for indicators as to how the US is going to go and really where the world is going to go, because we are still the leaders in crypto, and what we say in regulation still matters around the world.
Ben, it's interesting you say that, and I know, Sam and I are just firing questions away at you here, but, we're going to be in Hong Kong at Consensus in 2 weeks from now, and we look at some different jurisdictions around the world who really have surpassed the U.S. when it comes to regulation. We've seen companies leaving the U.S. for places like Dubai, Hong Kong, some countries in Europe. Do you think that the U.S. can catch up, or is it even a game of catch up, or is it just when the US is here and ready to regulate, the rest of the world follows, and maybe some of the regulation in those different jurisdictions that I just mentioned changes or is more malleable?
We have seen some companies, some notable companies. I'm thinking, for instance, of Crypto.com is an important exchange, that they are reshoring to the US. That there are companies that a few years ago, during the Biden administration, said we want nothing to do with this. We're afraid of being in the hairs of the SEC. We don't know what regulation is or whether we're going to be enforced one moment to the next. They left for different places, and now they're talking about coming back to the US and serving US customers. On the other hand, as I said before, crypto is supposed to be a transnational movement. So
Mhm.
And a lot of these companies, they don't even have headquarters. They don't even have presences in a typical traditional way that a company might have. So I think the kind of whole idea of being in the US or not being in the US is kind of not quite the same as it would be with another industry.
Jen, what are your thoughts on the idea of having, in essence, the insider billionaire class helping to create this regulation? I think of someone like David Sachs, who knows about crypto for sure and has been involved in a fair bit, but really comes out of the SaaS world, and was part of the early PayPal mafia squad, and has built some of his own companies. Should the people deciding be the ones who also are have the ability to profit the most off our industry?
I've said this time and time again on various different shows, but I think in some ways we may be creating some of the same problems we are trying to solve. This technology, this industry is supposed to be open and accessible to everyone, and having that billionaire class being front row in creating regulation, I don't think they have the same purview. I think they, and maybe they do. I can't speak for them, but I think that we need to have everyone have a seat at the table for this to be something different and for this to solve the problems that we're trying to solve. And I don't know if that can happen if the billionaire class is the one that's doing it. That said, if there is more clear regulation, the builders who are building, who are not those people, the folks who are really trying to solve problems for people across the globe, not only in America, may have more of a leeway to do that. And so yeah, my answer to that is I guess we just have to wait and see, and at least some progress is being made, because what was happening before wasn't really helping anyone.
Yeah, it was interesting. We actually published an op-ed last week from John Deaton. He was the Republican candidate for Senate in Massachusetts. He went up against Elizabeth Warren, who's obviously the boo girl of crypto, the kind of staunch anti-crypto champion, and he very much flew the flag for crypto there. And he was arguing in this column last week about exactly this, that we should have different voices in this kind of policy making process, that it is too much of a closed shop of rich men from crypto, people like David Sachs, Elon Musk. They came from the same company, others, that they're all sort of picking their friends to be partners on this. And that's, we know from history that's that kind of closed door mentality, can lead to less than optimal situations in the long run. So I think we need to protect against that, and we should all be championing.
To be invited to Capitol Hill here to speak.
And on that note, the press conference is starting, so let's take a look.
From both the House and the Senate, I want to thank Chairman Tim Scott, Chairman French Hill, Chairman John Bozeman, and Chairman G.T. Thompson. So thank you all for your leadership and commitment to addressing some of the most important opportunities of our time in ensuring that the U.S. remains at the forefront of innovation and digital assets. The president said in his executive order in the first week that it's the policy of his administration to support the responsible growth and use of digital assets, blockchain technology, and related technologies across all sectors of the economy. And he established an executive branch working group for digital assets, which includes Secretary Besson at Treasury, Secretary Noem, soon to be confirmed Attorney General Bondi, Secretary Letnick at Commerce, and all the other key administration officials that have an equity in crypto. And similarly, the SEC has set up a crypto task force led by Hester Peirce, which is also looking at this issue. And together, our objective is to accomplish the task the president assigned for us in his EO, which is to propose a federal regulatory framework governing the issuance and operation of digital assets, including stablecoins, in the United States. I've talked to many founders over the past few years, and they've told me repeatedly that the number one thing they need from Washington is regulatory clarity. They just want to know what the rules of the road are so they can abide by them. We're coming off, frankly, 4 years of arbitrary prosecution and persecution of crypto companies where the SEC wouldn't tell founders what the rules were, but then they would prosecute them. And many founders have even told me stories of being debanked personally just because they had founded a crypto company. All of this, this approach was driving this important technology of the future offshore, and we want to keep that innovation onshore in the US. Financial assets are destined to become digital, just like every analog industry has become digital. And we want that value creation to happen in the United States rather than giving it away to other countries. This will also, I should add, be much better for consumer protection because it's easier for regulators to supervise an activity when it's onshore. And it's probably not a coincidence that the single biggest fraud in the history of crypto, which was FTX, was based in the Bahamas. By moving the innovation onshore, it'll be easier to separate out the good actors from the bad actors. And we want to encourage the good actors, the innovators, while protecting the market from the bad actors. And I think a market structure legislation with clear definitions and fair rules will do that. I want to say additionally, we're excited about working with both the House and Senate on stablecoin legislation. I know Senator Hagerty introduced a bill today. This stablecoins really have the potential to ensure American dollar dominance internationally, to increase the usage of the U.S. dollar digitally as the world's reserve currency, and in the process create potentially trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries, which could lower long-term interest rates. So let me stop there, and I want to thank the chairman here today, Chairman Scott, Chairman Hill, Chairman Bozeman, Chairman Thompson. I look forward to working with them as part of the administration to help turn President Trump's policy into reality. This was a week one priority for the administration, and we're excited that our counterparts in Congress are equally committed to ensuring American dominance in digital assets. I look forward to working with each of you. And with that, I want to say work with each of you in creating a golden age in digital assets. And with that, I'll turn it over to Chairman Scott. Thank you.
I think David represents promises made, promises kept. I love the campaign trail when President Trump was out there making promises, and we see today he's keeping those promises. And in so many ways, I think back to a kid as I was a long time ago, growing up in a single-parent household, mired in poverty, and hoping that the American dream would one day be accessible for me. I think that we're standing here today at the precipice of greatness for so many kids who are looking forward to democratization, having access points for their families and for themselves that makes it easier and less expensive to do business in this country. I love the concept that we see today, synergy within the administration, the House, and the Senate, focusing not on ourselves, but focusing on working class Americans who desperately need to reduce their prices and increase their access. That's what the bicameral working group will help tackle. I have a pre-existing working friendship with GT and French and John. And the good news is we come together already having proven the ability to work together to get things done for the American people. It's an exciting time to be an American. And as David said, the golden age has begun. And the good news is it's going to get better. I'm excited about what we will accomplish for the American people. I'm excited about the synergistic approach that we're taking in the House and the Senate, with the White House leading the way. Next, you'll hear from Chairman French Hill.
Thank you, Chairman Scott, and David Sachs, thank you for coming to Capitol Hill to celebrate with us the fact that in the 119th Congress, we have a bicameral project for both a stablecoins bill and a regulatory framework that will bring clarity to digital assets in the United States so that we are the land of opportunity, the land of innovation that we have been for decades in so many other technologies. We don't want to be behind in financial technology and digital assets in the United States, but our innovators, as David Sachs reported, need clarity. They need to know what the rules of the road are. And that's why I'm excited to be here today to share this announcement that we're forming a working group on a bicameral basis between the House Financial Services Committee, the Senate Banking Committee, the House Agriculture Committee, and the Senate Agriculture Committee to make progress on that clarity for a regulatory framework and to create and structure a stablecoins bill that will lend itself to advancing America as the reserve currency of the world. This is a big issue. Bicameral support this year is dynamic because last year in the 118th Congress, we had success on a bipartisan basis in the House on both stablecoin legislation moving out of the House Financial Services Committee and for the regulatory framework moving across the House floor with a strong bipartisan vote. 71 Democrats joined House Republicans in moving that policy forward. So in my view, with the wind at our back of a leader like President Trump, who knows that financial innovation, financial technology is where America's heart is, where our entrepreneurs' hearts are, that will lead from the executive branch. And now with this bicameral partnership with Senate Agriculture and Senate Banking, along with our House committees, I look very, very forward to the success we're going to have in the 119th Congress. And let me ask my good friend from Arkansas, a fellow Razorback, the chairman of the House Ag Committee, John Bozeman.
We're all still excited about the big Kentucky win. So it's good to be with you all. We've been working hard on this for the last 3 years. And we've had our ups and our downs. When we started working on it, crypto was gaining popularity. And then with Sam Bankman-Fried and other things, it seemed like perhaps it was in trouble. It's rebounded though and is bigger than ever. So our goal is to make sure that consumers are protected, make sure that the industry, in order for it to grow and be able to offer all of the things that it does offer to the various disciplines that are out there, whether you're a bank or whether you're investing a client's money for their retirement or whatever, you've got protections, there's structure in it, and it will allow the industry itself, because it is regulated, people have confidence in that, to grow. It's a little different than our normal situations in the sense we've got these jurisdiction things. So I'm the chairman of Ag. Why am I here? Because we have the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, and some assets are commodities, some are securities. So the SEC has jurisdiction over the securities, CFTC has jurisdiction over the other. So the idea that we're working together, again, we've all been working separately. We've made progress over the last several years, but working together now with purpose. And then also having the White House, having the czar over here, again, to visit with him and really set up a structure so that we can get a final structure to make this thing work is very, very important. So I appreciate Senator Scott, I think, really coming up with that idea. And I think it's a good one. And we're looking forward to actually get some things accomplished in the next several months.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Congressman G.T. Thompson, Chair of the House Agriculture Committee. And this is what we're doing today is sort of the next step and what will be a milestone, which will be a great accomplishment for our country. America really was a leader when it came to Internet 1.0, right? It was the Internet of knowledge. And the Internet 2.0, again, it was America that led that for the world, not just for our citizens, but for the world. And that was the Internet of things. And then Internet 3.0 is what we're talking about today, and that's the Internet of value. And we're approaching it in a principled way. My colleagues here mentioned a couple of those. Number one, do no harm. Protect consumers, provide that regulatory structure, that certainty, both for the industry, but quite frankly for the consumers as well. And secondly is foster innovation, because the opportunities are just really are unimaginable. Well, what I believe is that whatever's over the horizon is going to be very, very exciting. So I'm really, well, first of all, just very thankful to President Trump for his historic efforts to bring regulatory clarity to the digital assets markets. His leadership with the work that David Sachs is going to lead on his behalf is going to be a game changer for American competitiveness in the global race to build the new economy. The president could not have picked a better person to helm his AI and digital asset efforts. David brings a wealth of experience in exploring new technologies and building successful businesses to this new role. You know, we've had great conversations, and I know that he is laser focused on bringing certainty to digital asset markets. I want to congratulate my friend, Chairman French Hill. He is the right man to lead the Financial Services Committee in the House at this moment, in this time. And he's a great partner and the type of leader that we need to advance this issue. We worked incredibly well last Congress together alongside Patrick McHenry, and I'm excited to build on that work together. I also want to congratulate our newly elevated Senate colleagues, Chairman Bozeman and Chairman Scott. Perhaps there's no one more pleased than me to be able to say Chairman Bozeman. John and Tim and their members are going to bring a wealth of talent and expertise to this discussion from the Senate majority. We did incredible work in the House last Congress in the 118th, and I'm proud of the efforts that went into our historic vote on Fit 21. I'm equally excited to have these partners and a new administration in place to be able to finish the job. I'm thrilled to lead the House Agriculture Committee members as we work with this incredible team to put a bill on President Trump's desk. And I think at this point, we're going to be in a position to take a few questions.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to take some questions from the crowd. If you direct your questions, can you please say your name and the outlet you're with? Emily, we'll start with you.
Emily Wilkins, CNBC. Thanks so much for holding this today. I wanted to start off, I mean, you're talking about legislation. Can you talk a little bit about Fit 21 last time, the bill that you plan to introduce again? What differences are you going to see now that we have a trifecta in Washington?
Well, thanks, Emily. We did do good work, good, strong bipartisan work on Fit 21, which was the clarity for a market structure bill. That bill, I think, had the basics for the exact bill that we'll propose to introduce again in the 119th Congress. There may be some modest changes, but it had bipartisan support. We did a lot of work in our markup and in the floor preparation for it in both the Ag Committee under Dusty Johnson leadership and G.T. Thompson's leadership, and in House Financial Services. So on the regulatory framework bill, that'll be the approach that the House takes. On stable coins, I think you'll see us have a bill that's very similar to the approach that's been taken in the Senate. Recently, Senator Hagerty's introduced legislation. That bill was closer to the original proposal that Patrick McHenry put in place early in the 118th Congress, and I think you'll see the House expose a draft for stable coins that would be similar to the approach taken by Senator Hagerty. But let me ask GT or to comment or Tim.
So I established this year a digital asset subcommittee so that we could take a deep dive into market structure as well as stable coins. Good news is stable coins led by Bill Hagerty on the Senate side out already today. We've seen Cynthia Lummis as a co-sponsor. Market structure is a place where you have left and right leaning in. We have members from Gillibrand and Lummis working together in the past, now working together in the future, coming to the table to create the framework for the Senate so that we can harmonize Fit 21, the parts that we see as a path forward to a signature into law. So the good news is, from my perspective, having the digital asset subcommittee really working on the market structure at the same time, simultaneously having Bill Hagerty lead the conversation around stable coins, having that bill out for us to take a look at. And there will be an amendment process, will be a part of that for us. And then hopefully very quickly, we'll see the House working on it as well. So we'll have a legislation that's able to go to the president's desk.
Let me just say, I'm very proud of the work that we did in 118th with Fit 21. And that was done in, you heard others talk about, we had Republicans and Democrats, certainly in committee and on the House floor, significant vote that we achieved. But I like to say we achieved that in a tripartisan way. We worked in bringing the industry, bringing key stakeholders to the table. And so I look forward to quite frankly, on working with my colleagues here and President Trump to, to continue that process of refining what we do, whether it's market structures and the other aspects of this bill.
Brendan Peterson with Punch Bowl News. I wanted to ask if you all are thinking about making changes to anti-money laundering law as a part of this push, given the concerns we've heard about banking, the crypto sector, and beyond, and the broader concerns about money transmitter licenses and the sensitivities of AML.
Yeah. We're certainly open for discussion. One of the things that the subcommittee will take a look at is the whole playing field. I mean, at the end of the day, to get all of our members on board, we're going to have to be open to comments and thoughts on the issue. I think we're in a good place. The Bank Secrecy Act is something that we've discussed with the other side. They have a focus on it. I think that the broader conversation should not be about digital assets alone. It's about bad actors doing bad things by any means necessary. And so having that conversation from a panoramic view and not simply from an digital asset perspective is going to be important for us to get to the end of that conversation.
Brendan, I would add, having been the subcommittee chair in the last Congress, and Brian Stiles is going to have that mission this time. He'll do an excellent job, I think, on the market structure bill and the stablecoin bill as it relates to the security aspects of it. We were very sensitive in the 118th Congress about the law enforcement aspects of digital assets, not any different than we are about any other means of transfer of or payment method, whether you're talking about cash or the ACH system or real-time payments. This is an important point. I agree with Senator Scott completely. We'll listen to our members. But in the drafts that we pro-offered last year that, as I say, we had bipartisan support for, they had strict AML standards in them for this digital arrangement for digital assets that are not unlike the requirements out in the analog financial services space. It's why we call the bills fit for purpose, because this is not an intermediated form of finance anymore. And so these laws have to reflect how transactions are conducted. But it's AML and BSA are important for every member on both sides of the Capitol.
Thank you for doing this. For both of the stablecoin and the FIT bills last year, I'm just curious this year whether you have any idea of the timeline when you expect to get those worked through Congress. And then also, could this ride along anything like the Farm Bill, for instance, given the agriculture commission?
Well, we have to work on getting the Farm Bill. and we're going to do that. The time-wise, I think one of the most important things we're doing now, with every Congress, we have new members that retire or are defeated, and we have new members coming in. So we're starting that now and have started member education. And quite honestly, crypto is not the easiest thing to wrap your mind around. Not everyone comes into Congress with a good full understanding and a thorough knowledge. And so member education is what our first goal is here. And then how it times up, it is, I think we've shown the ability to be able to move a market structures bill, FIT 21 as a whole, out of the House in the past. I think we're probably in a really good position to, when we conclude our work and preparation this time around, to be able to do that. So I don't see this being attached to a farm bill.
Thank you.
Hang on one second.
I would say, if I was thinking about this a little bit, I think what we have is an opportunity to get things done. My theory is the first 100 days of a new administration is important. On the Senate side, my goal is to be as aggressive as possible to achieve an objective of having bills through the Senate in 100 days.
Just to go back to Emily's question on this and combine it with timing, Maeve, is here's the way to think about it. We did a lot of work in the 118th Congress in the House. So we're prepared to move forward in the House Financial Services Committee, and I won't speak for Chairman Thompson, by introducing legislation or having discussion drafts of our legislation, attaching those to a set of committee hearings. But it's exactly as GT points out. We have new members. We've got to do new member education. And so we have to level set here. This is why Chairman Bozeman and Chairman Scott have stepped up digital assets at a subcommittee level to bring members along and do that member education here in the Senate, something that in the House, we had the benefit, obviously of 2 Congresses working on that. So I think a key element now, though, is the education and technical assistance that can be provided to members both in the House and Senate from the executive branch now as President Trump's leadership posts are confirmed. And key among them is his AI and crypto advisor, David Sachs. And David, would you want to speak to this issue of helping members come up to speed?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So this is what we're here for. And I actually did a session even before the start of this Congress with Speaker Johnson. We did a great sort of open dialogue with members of the House in that case. And I think, part of what we're here to do is provide resources on education. Some of them can be outside advisors, kind of luminaries in the industry, and we're talking to a lot of those people. And then, I'm also available anytime to talk to members about this. It can, crypto can be a esoteric subject, and it is good to explain it, to kind of demystify it, because I think once you understand that, you've kind of got the cryptocurrency itself like Bitcoin, but then what it really runs on are blockchains, which are just distributed ledgers. It's really a new type of decentralized computing platform, and there's a lot of things that can be built on that computing platform. So in any event, we're happy here to provide those resources to help explain it, both on Capitol Hill and beyond.
Thank you, Jasper Goodman with Politico. Thanks for doing this.
Is moving quickly.
Senator Hagerty is out of the stablecoin bill today. Given that that's out there and there's been more consensus in the past on stablecoin.
The members of the committee, as well as folks like Gillibrand off the committee, are very anxious to have a win in this digital space. And so for the first time in a long time, there's a reason to take a deep breath and release it, because the legislation moving forward very quickly is happening. Good news is they have had, as French said, a lot of time working on the legislation as well. Finding the places where there are disagreement will be the key for us getting it to the president's desk. And that's where I think the task happens next, is to take a look at the component parts of Hagerty's stablecoin bill. But that's what we're moving first, is stablecoins.
In the House, and I'll speak for the Financial Services Committee and then yield to my friend GT, we're proposing that we'll essentially move the stable coins and a FIT 21 type structure, as I've now answered that question 2 or 3 times, on a similar track. Meaning we're going to begin that process where we left off in the 118th Congress. And we worked hand in glove diligently with our colleagues on the Democratic side of the aisle in the House. Many of the ideas that are reflected in the market structure bill and some in the stablecoins bill reflected views from the minority party in the House. And we'll continue to do that. And you'll see that as we move forward with a set of hearings and the discussion. So I remain committed to trying to make these bills bipartisan success in the House. And certainly we'll cooperate with the senators and try to be a part of any kind of educational effort here on a bipartisan base to support their efforts here in the Senate. GT.
I have the same commitment, so I really don't have anything against.
Great, last question, Jennifer. Thank you so much, Jennifer Schonberger with Yahoo Finance. On the campaign trail, the president said he supported the Bitcoin reserve. I'm curious what the plans are with that at this point, and would the Biden administration consider putting crypto into a sovereign wealth fund?
After you.
So one of the things that the president instructed us to do was to evaluate the idea for a Bitcoin reserve. And so that is one of the things, that's one of the first things we're going to look at as part of the internal working group in the administration. So as soon as we get all that set up, we're still waiting for some cabinet secretaries who are on the working group to get confirmed. So we're still in the very early stages of this. But that's one of the first things we're gonna look at, is the feasibility of a Bitcoin reserve. I think the concept of the sovereign wealth fund is a little separate, and you'd have to talk to Secretary Lutnick, or soon to be Secretary Lutnick, about that.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be a lot more. Yeah, I suspect there'll be a lot more there. There's a lot of fluff. So I don't know what happened there or what the actual consensus. And I also figured the president would be there. So that was kind of weird. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that as well. I was expecting, and it looks like the crypto is actually dipping. So I thought this would push the crypto up, and it had the actual opposite effect. So it's kind of weird. Let me click to another video real quick and let me know what you guys think about that as well. I was watching a video from earlier about XRP. For something that's not the live stream.
XRP holders, today everything changes, or will it be a big letdown? Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, moneymakers. A lot of people are pumping up this crypto czar press conference saying that this is the most important day in crypto of all time. Right? I'm seeing the videos already come out. We'll talk about what could this mean going forward, how this will affect the crypto market. But first, we got some news for you, and then we'll look at the markets. We'll look at XRP, and we'll see what's happening. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out the good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Let's try to get 2,000 likes on this video. I know you guys can do it. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to check my messages. Okay. And now let's get into it. So other side. Okay, so we have the crypto czar, David Sachs, talking at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's about an hour and a half before that. We'll talk again about what he said later. But first, we have some more news. So this is only the third time in history that XRP has had a hammer candle on the weekly. Last two times in 2017 and 2013. So it was a while back. We saw XRP go up 2,000% following that happening. Now, not the next day, over a period of weeks, but that would be very, very interesting if XRP would go up around 2,000%. So just know that the last times that this happened, XRP did go up significantly. Doesn't mean that it will happen again, but that's just an interesting anecdote there for XRP. We did get the US macro data released today. Job openings was actually lower than expected, and that's actually good, right? You don't want a lot of jobs because there's a lot of jobs. It means that people have the potential to make money. If they have potential to make money, then they're going to buy stuff, and if they buy stuff, then inflation doesn't go down, and then the Fed has no choice but to keep interest rates high, and so low jobs is good. The stock market kind of pumped a little bit, and the crypto market kind of came up a little bit when that data came out. But then we had news coming out of China that there was supposed to be a talk between President Trump and President Xi. That will no longer be speaking today. So that kind of freaked the market out a little bit. And you can see here, XRP is down minus 2.87%. Bitcoin is down 2.3%, under 100,000 once again. So you can see if we look at the 5-minute chart, there was a little bit of a pump here after last night. We talked about this pullback in the morning where the Chinese decided they were doing their own tariffs on the US. And then there was thinking about there was going to be a talk today. And then once the talk got canceled, the market pulled back a little bit. So you can see that here. And if we look at the stock market, you can see very similar action. Once it came out, started pulling back a little bit. So will be interesting to see what happens here. We also had Senator Haggerty introducing a stablecoin bill in the Senate. The bill is called Genius Guiding and Establishing National Innovation in U.S. Stablecoins Act, and aims to provide clear regulations for stablecoins. Of course, this is important for Ripple and XRP because of RLUSD. So here are the highlights of the bill, which is based off of discussion draft Haggerty rolled out in October. Genius Act provides clear regulations for U.S. stablecoins, defines stablecoins as digital assets pegged to the U.S. dollar, establish licensing and reserves requirements for issuers, applies Fed rules for issuers greater than 10 billion, state rules for under 10 billion, supports financial inclusion, efficient transactions, and dollar supremacy. Pegged to the USD. Senate staffers told Eleanor from Fox that they expect the bill to move quickly through the committee in Congresses, and we'll discuss it today in press conference. It will be discussed in today's press conference with David Sachs. So coming back to the press conference, you see how I did a callback. It's like in a comedy show. That President Trump's crypto czar, David Sachs, to hold press conference today at 2:30 on U.S. strategy for digital assets. Now everybody's sitting and thinking to themselves, what is he going to say? Is he going to say anything about the potential crypto reserve? Is it going to be Bitcoin? Is it going to be a mix? Will XRP be in there? And so a lot of people are anticipating this, thinking that this is going to be like the greatest day of all time. It is a very important day, and it's a first. The first time we have a crypto czar, and the first time that he's going to be talking and laying out what his goal is to do. We haven't heard him speak yet since he's got the position. We've heard him speak before, and we all know that he's very pro-crypto, but it will be interesting to see what is he going to say, what are the plans, what are the stuff that he talked about with Donald Trump, and where could potentially the market go from there. Will it be a buy the rumor, sell the news type of action? Well, for now, we haven't had the buy the rumor action, right? The market is still down, and Bitcoin is under 100,000. XRP is under $3. So I don't think we have the buy the rumor. I'm just a little bit concerned that we might have a sell the news, like if there's nothing groundbreaking in the discussion there in the press conference, that people are going to freak out and they're going to sell a little bit. So know that there could be volatility here. Of course, if he said something amazing for a specific asset, then that asset could go up significantly because the algos are going to be waiting to listen to the speech, but also they're going to be scraping Twitter to see what people are tweeting. And then they're going to react
Welcome
accordingly.
back to the show. Check out these headlines. U.S. government adopts XRP ledger to be U.S. infrastructure, and you won't believe who's suggesting such a thing. And could we see 20 to 50 governments do the same? How about this? 2 votes needed for a new crypto bill. And how about 2,000% gain for XRP? How about somebody roll that beautiful intro?
Yeah. Pip, you didn't miss anything. I was expecting some major announcements in the live stream, but nothing really happened. There was nothing big, no major announcement. It was just a lot of fluff, and the president wasn't even there. So, Pip, you didn't miss anything. So, I was expecting a lot more. I was expecting crypto to go through the roof, something to get crazy, get parabolic. And, of course, it was all hype, bro. It was nothing there. So you really didn't miss much of anything, just a lot of hype, just a lot of extra nonsense. I figured it would be a lot of craziness and a lot of involved, but it wasn't really nothing much. But continue to hold, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Actually, you can go ahead and log out. I'm going to start the other video probably later tonight to see any reactions to the live stream. But thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. And as always, let's get back to the money and stay dangerous. Miner out.